Hey, I'm Haley from Sløtface, and I'm here chatting with Milky. So I first started writing the song in London with Michael Champion and Paul Wally, and then it didn't really fit in with like what Sløtface was doing for our next full-length album, but I really loved the song, so we started looking for people to duet on it. The Buoys' name came up, and I just like fell in love with their music the instant I heard it. I've said this to them that they really remind me of the band, like the fictional band that Lindsay Lohan has in the movie Freaky Friday, the Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan version, and that's like where my heart lies. So I was really excited to have them agree to come and duet on it. And it was really fun working on it. It was so cool that we both like instantly connected with the theme of the song, even though we were in such different places. Like I think the first time Zoe and I from the Buoys met on Zoom, it was like 8 a.m. my time and like 6 p.m. her time. So we were coming at it from very different times of day, but we still just like instantly had this bond that made it really easy to work on. The song is called Fight Back Time, and it is kind of about like those times in life when things are really hectic and it feels a little bit overwhelming, and there are like two sides of you. There's like the side that wants to pull everything together and regain some control and like feel like you're really on top of it, and then there's the side that's kind of like wanting to self-sabotage and say like, screw this, I don't care if I get like 3 hours sleep, I'm gonna do all the things that I feel like I'm missing out on by having a really packed schedule. So it's kind of like about the duality between those things, and it's inspired by a Roxanne Gay quote about like bedtime procrastination, when you have so much to do and you're really tired but you know you should go to bed, but instead to like feel like you're like clawing back some control, you stay up really late and like watch too much TV instead. It's kind of about that feeling. But this was the thing, because like we were talking about it and I was like explaining to Zoe the ideas I'd had when first writing the song, and she was like, okay, yeah, that's my whole life. Immediately, we're gonna work on this and it's gonna be good. I really like the second verse where Zoe and I kind of go back and forth and bounce off each other, which is more about like self-sabotaging, I guess. But I think the line, when you're already soaked, why would you care about a little rain? About like, which is like a metaphor for sleep and time, pretty much. I'm pretty proud of that one. We have been working hard all year on another full-length record, so the plan is for that to come out next year. We've just started mixing it this week, so that's really exciting. We're really pumped for it. I mean, it's like Sløtface has definitely been a journey. Last year, we saw like the other original members that I started the band with leave the band to go focus on other dreams that they had, and I support them fully in that. But it has been kind of like a transition period of like bringing new people into the project and working in different ways. So that I think has probably been the biggest change of my career over like the past 2 years. Musically, I think we're kind of like trying to find a good balance between it being still really fun and energetic, because during the pandemic we've missed playing live so much. So we're really focused on like writing music that'll be really tailored to a live format. But we also feel like we may have like matured a little bit since our first record, and our tastes evolved the way they do for all musicians. So we're kind of excited about like blending that really energetic side of us with a more like mature adult side of us that might not always be in the mosh pit if I were at a show myself, but I'm still really excited for there to be one. For me, like the biggest change has just been that I kind of opened it up to collaborating with a lot more people, because I grew up in Sløtface and we started it when we were in high school, and the three guys that I originally started with have kind of been my whole musical education of us writing together. So when we kind of went into like our new phase, or Sløtface 2.0, like that we call it, it was a really good chance to kind of open it up to new musicians and different producers that we'd never worked with and new songwriters. So for me, it kind of just like opened the doors on a whole other side of the music world that's been really exciting to explore. And I really love the combo of like writing things the way that kind of the first iteration of Sløtface used to, in a rehearsal space with the new band, and also working a lot in studios in like more of a pop sense with like producers and then fleshing it out as a band. I think like all those different ways of working on things have made it a really exciting process that like feels fresh every day when we go in, which is really nice. Oh, there are so many good emerging artists coming out of Norway right now. My number one thing for people to check out would probably be our guitarist Tobias's other band that's called Hammock. It's this like insanely good new hardcore band that are going to release a record next year that I've gotten to listen to a little bit of, and it's so good. It mixes like hardcore with a lot of like modern pop elements, and it's really good. And then I would really recommend for people to check out Milky, who I saw first when she was like 16, and I knew she was going to be a star, and now she is. So that's really exciting. That's Milky. Most likely Malin is another really cool, like bedroomy indie pop artist that I really like. Rick Grove is more like country folky. Embla and the Kari Daughters is a country band that like most of the members of Sløtface also play in, so I have to give them a shout out, and they're also really good and really fun. They're Instagram country, if that's your thing. Yeah, I think there's like so much exciting stuff going on. I would definitely have people pay attention to the Norwegian music scene. Oh, that's already so hard. I think right now I would probably say Pup, because we toured with them in 2019 and they inspired me so much and made me want to grow as a musician. Number one dream, the Buoys. Probably maybe like Turnstile. I'm a really big Turnstile fan, and I think they're doing really exciting stuff with other artists that are featured on their record. Probably Welcome to the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance. I am a really big Edgar Wright fan, the director. So like whatever his next project is, I would want to do that. Ooh, usually I'm trying not to like completely go blank in my brain, because I'm really working hard these days on trying to be more present. But if I don't control it, my brain kind of just goes blank and I start thinking about like what I'm going to eat after the show, or yeah, not being in the moment. Oh, Miley Cyrus, definitely. It was probably Somewhere Over the Rainbow from The Wizard of Oz. Spice Girl. We already have a scary Spice, but maybe like Spooky Spice or something like that. Westlife. I've seen Boy Genius twice this summer, and because I'm a huge fan, and I think they were some of the best shows of my life. They were amazing. Stacey Orico, which she doesn't really do much anymore, but she had a really good moment in 2003. Bruce Springsteen. Right now, it's a show we did this year, actually, in August, that was like our biggest show ever at a festival called Øya in Norway. And it was the most fun experience of my career so far. I think Red Rocks is amazing. That would be a big dream. And then there's like a similar venue in Sweden that's kind of modeled after Red Rocks. But to be honest, there's some stunning festivals in Norway that we still haven't gotten to play at, that are in like the middle of mountains or on really deserted islands. So Trevarefest, and also a festival called Træna. Both of those are definitely on the bucket list. I don't know, for me it might be David Bowie. I think was always just so good at reinventing himself and changing with the times and making amazing stuff. I think probably still to just like try to keep enjoying the good stuff and like be in the moment when it happens. To me, music is catharsis. I mean, that has to be the same as like my go-to last song of the night, which is almost always a Robin song, like Dancing on My Own or Call Your Girlfriend or one of those. I don't know if there's ever been like a specific moment, but I know I started playing in bands when I was 11. And after those first concerts, I remember that feeling so vividly of being like getting off the stage and being like heartbroken that there would be another like 6 months or a year until I would get to do it again. So I think those are the moments that like stick clearly in my mind.